What's up guys, it's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm back at it again, bringing you 40 facts on the Warhammer 40k, 30k universe. This time we are going Orky with the Oryx. I'm going to be bringing you the vehicles of the Oryx, and they've got some pretty interesting, pretty nifty things, especially those awesome Squiggles. So without further ado, here is 40 facts on the vehicles of the Oryx. Let's begin with the Squiggles. Amongst all of the Squigs, the Squiggoth is a massive quadruped beast that ranges in size from that of a battle tank to that of a titan, and they are usually kept by feral orcs, but not always. There have been woolly tusked Squiggoths seen on the battlefield, but the most common appears similar to that of a dinosaur. It commonly has a howdah on its back, where boys ride into battle, shooting mounted guns, such as the Supalaba as they go. To protect their ride, orcs usually add armor plating. With all greenskin organism, the Magos Biolis of the Adepta Mechanicus have identified that Squiggoths are indeed fungal life forms, though they are very rare and can only be grown by the specialist breeder Pigdock of the Snakebites clan. The size of the Squiggoth is related to the feed formula that the breeder gives the creature. Less effective formulas may result in puny Squiggoths, while high-quality formulas will see them keep on growing and growing and growing until they reach the size of titans. Squiggoths themselves vary in size and shape, but there are two primary subspecies, the first being the big Squiggoths, which are smaller but are more common breed of Squiggoths. The other is the gargantuan Squiggoths, which are monstrous creatures the size of imperial titans that are bred from the finest secret feed formulas of the Snakebites clan. They are sometimes the favored steeds of powerful orc war bosses. And now onto the Oryx Gompa. A Gompa is a small type of Gargant, usually mounted with various anti-infantry, anti-vehicle, or even sometimes anti-titan weaponry. It also serves as a means of transport. Usually they are deployed when a war boss can't find the available resources to properly build a Gargant. They are still very effective in use, but are smaller and a bit weaker than that of a Gargant. When a Gompa reaches certain size, it becomes a Super Gompa, or occasionally Mech-Boy Gargants. Sometimes, war bosses will put aside their differences and join their Stompas into Stompa mobs, a highly effective group of Stompas. In the case of the Third World for Armageddon, thousands of these were brought to Armageddon, making them a common sight on the battlefield. The weapons that can usually be seen are a Titan close combat weapon, the Death Cannon, the Super Gatla, the Super Rocket, the Big Shooter, the Crusher Ball, the Death Arsenal, a belly gun, the Raint Paint Job to make it faster, and a repair crew of Grots and Gretchen. The Big Mech Stompa. Sometimes the Big Mech gets so influential and powerful that they decide to build themselves a walking battle fortress bristling with large, unreliable weapons, since it is the best they can do. Unlike a regular Stompa, the Big Mech Stompa has large tractor beams called Lifta Droppas, instead of a close combat weapon or a death cannon. It usually is a weapon that makes its way to a Lifta Droppa, as a Big Mech replaces coaxial Super Gatla with the more advanced Giga Shooter. Finally, the Gaze of Mork, or the Gaze of Gork, gives this Stompa the incredibly powerful yet unreliable energy weapon that it so desperately needs. But of course, no budding Big Mech wants his prize Stompa getting blown to pieces, so he fits it with a crackling energy field to prevent too much damage from happening upon it. The Orc Gargant. The Gargant isn't as technologically advanced as their Imperial or Eldar counterparts, but they are still fully capable of destroying the titans of other races. Like many products of Orkoid military engineering, the Gargant relies on a combination of simple technology and devastating heavy firepower, an attitude summed up by Boss Mech Bad Luck One Leg in one of his oft-quoted dictums. "Scora be dead shooty, with lots of guns all over. Orc Gargons do not have sophisticated mind impulses like human and Eldar Titans. Instead, the Gargon's captain must rely on bellowing his orders down a speaking tube that his officers will move the Gargant and fire its weapons as he wishes. Repair crews such as Gretchen, whose awesome small builds allows them to crawl through the cramped spaces, armed with wrenches and oily rags, to fix whatever damage falls upon it. There are a variety of Gargant types, such as the Great Gargant, which is an even bigger version, or the Mega Gargant, which is an even bigger version of that. There is also the Mech Boy Gargant, which is a little bit better, the Steam Gargant, which is, surprise, powered by steam, and then we come along to the Stompa. The Death Dread, which stands for Death Dreadnought for Orc, are walking war machines that belch out smoke as they charge across the battlefield. They are similar to Space Marine dreadnoughts, since the pilot must be permanently wired into the machine. Many boys often volunteer to be wired into a dreadnought because it will in effect turn him into a massive, powerful, and destructive machine. This integration makes the machine very deadly, for these orky machines can move as if they were the pilot's own body. Orc Death Dreads are loud, stompy, and shooty, the three things that symbolize orc warfare and culture. They are normally armed with 2 huge pincers or saws, 2 big shooters, rocket launchers, scorchers, or the deadly custom Mega Blaster. The Kilakan are a large metal can mounted with 2 piston-powered legs, although, as anything with Orc, there is always a large degree of variation. They are most often armed with a single heavy weapon welded onto one of the soldiers, and a saw or pincer for close combat attacks. Unlike the Death Dreads, Khans are piloted by a hardwired Gretchen, not an Orc. And unlike most Orcs, Grots are all too eager to get the chance to pilot these smaller machines, and after implantation, they will usually celebrate their new life by stomping whoever had previously bullied them into a fine paste. Even with the increase in firepower, Killer Can pilots still display cowardly behavior. While they are usually deployed in small squadrons of 2 or 3, some Khans have been known to run from the battlefield at the first sign of danger. Khans are kept asleep in pens in between battles where they can do no harm to the rest of the tribe. These weapons are usually equipped with a big shooter, a rocket launcher, a Grot Zuka, a Grot Rigger, and many times armored plates for protection. The Mega Dread. The Mega Dread is a heavy orc walker and the largest orc walker short of a Stompa. It is a hulking, armor-plated monster, much larger and considerably more powerful than the more commonly encountered Death Dreads and Kilakans. They fit enormous hydraulic power into a relatively compact frame, which makes them far more maneuverable on the battlefield. Mega Dreads are usually armed with a combination of kill cannons, claws, and other high-caliber weapons. Being larger and more sophisticated than standard orc walkers, most Mega Dreads are controlled by a hybrid system of detachable surgical implants, which are often hammered in, then pried out of the pilot's head during and after battle. To the mech boys that are able to build these monstrosities, they are the ultimate killing machines, and a war boss can expect to pay a hefty amount of teeth to acquire them. The Gorkanaut. Gorkanauts are a type of heavy orc walker, built as an effigy to the orc god Gork. The Gorkanaut possesses all the unsubtle brutality of its namesake. The walker is piloted by a knob, and everything an orc aspires to be is encompassed in this war machine. The Gorkanaut's main weapon is the Deathstorm Mega Shooter and the massive Claw of Gork. It is also armed with 2 twin-linked big shooters, 2 rocket launchers, and a Scorcher. The Morkanaut. The Morkanaut is a type of orc heavy walker, built as an effigy to the Gork god, Mork. It possesses all the lethal cunning of its namesake. The Morkanaut is built, armed, and piloted by mech boys. Their main weapons consist of the custom Mega Cannon, as well as an oversized power claw, known as the Claw of Mork. Like its other one, it is also equipped with 2 twin-linked big shooters, 2 rocket launches, and a custom Mega Blaster. So let us wield these 2 Morkanauts and Gorkanauts against the enemies of the Orcs. Because that's going to be an awesome sight to see on the battlefield. Well, that's all I got for you guys this time. Stay tuned for a part 2 as we get into the bikes, the buggies, the aircraft of the Orc Empire. Are they an empire? Probably not, but it sounds cool, so we'll go with it. Let me know what you guys thought about these Orc constructions of death. I, for one, love the Gorkanaut and the Morkanaut. They just look pretty amazing. Let me know which one's your favorite. And these guys, they don't seem very hard to build. They're basically like a bunch of scraps put together. And if you believe, it'll work, because that's the Orc philosophy. So let me know what you guys want to hear from next time. Keep on liking the Facebook page, because we'll hit 1,000 likes pretty soon, and that means giveaway. Also, go to our part 3 on the Angry Marines, because there's a giveaway at the end of the video, so you might be able to win a Start Collecting Space Marine box. And that's all I got for you guys this time. As always, I am the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I am signing out.